Hello guys, how are we all today? Jordan here, back with another review for you. This time looking at the newly released HyperX Cloud Alpha S gaming headset. Now right off the bat, as you can tell, this isn't the classic red and black that we've become accustomed to from HyperX, but a black and gorgeous metallic blue. Now being someone with a red and black themed channel, I do like those colours, but I can see why everyone else might not, but this colour is very nice and certainly a welcome change. So let's run you through some of the key specs and features, then we'll get inside of the box. So the Alpha S is using a custom tuned 7.1 surround sound. As a quick side note, that is a virtual surround, but from previous experience with the Cloud 2 headset, I'll put the link on the screen now, I can tell you it's going to be a very immersive experience. These have a dual chamber design with 50mm neodymium drivers. These provide a frequency response from 13Hz to 27kHz at a 65 ohm impedance. One very unique feature on this headset is the implementation of bass adjustment sliders, making it easy to adjust the bass level on the fly with just a single movement on each side. This makes it so much more simple without having to go into any software, which saves you a lot more time as well, especially when you're mid-game. So let's get into the box. Accessories wise, you get the instructions, the cables with the inline controller, nice cloth bag, as well as a separate set of fabric ear cups. I'll get onto those later in the video. Let's just get straight to the main article. Now I feel just by this shot you'll see exactly what I mean about the colour. Absolutely stunning, it just looks good in any light. The sides are a matte black, which is lovely, but it just makes it a little bit more perceptible to fingerprints. However, that being said, they are fairly easy to remove, and you could even use the cloth bag that comes for it, as it acts as a kind of microfiber cloth. So let's take a little look around the headset. At the very top we've got a fake leather looking headband with some lovely stitching that does look really well done. There's a nice debossed HyperX logo on there as well. I'm glad they've gone with a more subtle design, nothing like white that just stands out like a sore thumb. Just a very nice minimal style. So on each ear cup you've got a nice lot of adjustment, perfect if you've got a massive noggin like mine. That adjustment plus the headband stretch means you can fit to any size head, which means you can go into this buying it no matter what size head you've got. And the headband seems very durable. I think you could even lay it flat on the desk if you were to squash the headphones out and it will still survive, no worries. The fake leather ear cups and the headband are very soft and you can wear these for hours without worrying about any discomfort. If you find yourself getting a little bit hotter wearing headphones, you can obviously switch them out for the fabric ones that I mentioned in the start of the video. These are very tricky to install, so just a bit of a notice there. They're definitely something you're going to want to fit and then leave on there rather than go between, the fabric or the fake leather ones. You just have to stretch them out around the actual ear cup itself, then fit the fabric into the groove. As you can see on the camera, it did take me a little while to do. I ended up doing most of it off camera and then just finishing it off just to show you. So not something you can just go and do easily. Of course, if you want to clean them as well, that's another benefit. You can just easily remove them. I'm not sure how long they would last if you were to continually wash them, but once every now and again, I'm sure won't hurt. Okay, so moving on to the microphone. This is removable as well, so if you do want to take it out and about when you're listening to music, for example, you can easily do so. I think this colour works a lot better as well for streetwear over the red and black. Just not quite so kind of in your face. Just more of a subtle colour. Now this boom arm is a really flexible one as well, so no matter where you want to put it, it will stay there without any bother. And for anyone that's wondering, this is a bi-directional microphone with noise cancellation with a frequency response from 50Hz to 18kHz. Okay, so for those of you that want a mic sound test, here you go. This is the one recording on the Alpha Cloud S. Let me know what you think. I think it's going to be good enough just for casual gameplay, maybe not quite for the Twitch people that are amongst us. You're going to probably want a separate microphone for that. But, it gets you by Skype calls, stuff like that. All good. Discord chats, we'll do that quite adequately. But yeah, for anything a little bit more professional, I think you're going to want a dedicated mic. Okay, so onto the actual control box for the 7.1 surround sound. You've got options for volume on there as well as your game and chat volume, easily accessible. You can do this without looking as well, which is nice. On the side, we've got a nice little mute button as well, so you can easily find this without having to look away from your screen. The 7.1 logo lights up when that's enabled. There is a difference in the sound though, I'll get onto that in a minute. Your headset just simply connects with a 3.5mm cable into that, and then USB into your PC. Obviously, if you want to play music with the headset when you're out and about, you could just go straight with the 3.5mm connection. So now onto the bass adjustment sliders. These have 3 different positions to enable more or less bass depending on your preference. If you leave it fully open, that gives you the most bass. It kind of allows more breathing room for the drivers. And then obviously 1 notch down will reduce it, and then again further to the bottom. Personally, I've found myself leaving them open all of the time. Maybe if you're doing vocal work or you'll want to hear footsteps in games, then you'd probably put them all the way down just because it reduces all that bass quite drastically. But for the majority of the time, I've just found myself leaving them up. Personally, I feel these are going to be a kind of thing you will maybe put to where you want and then you won't use them again. I don't really find myself going to and fro very often. The lack of software for this headset, but the implementation of this is a little bit of a trade-off. Personally, I do like the sliders to adjust the EQ for everything rather than just the bass, but there are some people that may find this a lot easier. But personally for me, I do like the software and I would like the option of that over the sliders. So I think as we haven't got any software to show you, I'm just going to jump straight into my conclusion and audio performance. So first of all, if you're listening to music, go for the 2.1, don't enable the 7.1. I do think it just does sound a lot better generally when listening to music. Games on the other hand, bang on that 7.1. It does do a very good job, like I said about the last HyperX headset. It is a very good implementation of virtual surround, and this is definitely no exception to it. We'll get onto that a little bit more in a minute, but I just wanted to let you know that if you are listening to music on it, it's definitely 2.1 the way to go for that. The bass sliders I think are a little bit of a Marmite situation. You're going to either love them or hate them. The headset does have a nice quality of bass, but I don't think it's anything extreme. Personally, I would like the software just to ramp up that bass if you want to have some mental explosions when you're playing, shooting games with grenades and things like that, just to give you that even further depth of sound in the ear cups. And as I did say, it's kind of a situation you'll find where you like the bass and then you'll leave it there. I can't see myself using the sliders very often or even needing to go onto the other settings unless you're someone that likes to camp, for example, and you want to hear those footsteps of people that are close. But for the majority of people, I think you're going to probably leave them up. I do have to say that when you do ramp the volume on this, you don't have any distortion. It does sound very good no matter what volume range you play through. Very good performance in terms of that for headsets. Generally, you would find they start to distort, but this does to give you a good general sound no matter what volume level you put through it. So the 7.1, what that will do is enable kind of a boost for the mids and highs. Generally how they work for virtual surround. Now obviously using 2 speakers and then going to 7 speakers is a whole different ball game. So virtual surround does generally ramp up the mids and highs to give you that artificial element of 7.1, but this does do a good job considering it is artificial and a virtual sound over actual physical drivers in the headset. I think the best way I can really describe it is it gives it more of a immersive experience over a more competitive edge. I don't feel that it's going to make you, increase that kill streak by 50% just by having this enabled. It just kind of draws you in a little bit more. Certain things are amplified as well, so it does give it a different sound. Now, even though I said it doesn't add a competitive edge to your gaming, it does add an extra element and extra layers. It certainly is very enjoyable to use. The audio quality in general on this headset is really good. Definitely one of the best all-round audio performers that I've found. I'd recommend keeping those sliders down if you do go for this. I don't really feel that you're going to need to use any other options, but it still would be nice to have some software EQ available. I don't know if that's something they could possibly add further down the line. I don't see why not, considering it's just something that would be interacting with the USB interface, so hopefully we'll see something like that just to get a little bit extra from it. Other things I want to touch upon, the build quality is absolutely solid. The metal on the headbands and the ear cups obviously looks very good, but does actually feel good as well. Definitely a premium built headset. Color in general as well just looks fantastic. It's definitely going to look good when you're wearing it. Now ear cups, I personally found the softer fabric ones to be my preference, but either are good. I didn't find that my ears got hot using the fake leather ones either, so I don't really feel you're going to need to worry there unless you're in a very hot country or you're just playing non-stop 24/7. I think your ears will stay fairly cool anyway. I like the options on the controller for the game and voice chat. I think a lot of people are going to find that to be for their benefit, especially if you have some people that are just rambling on in chat and you can't be dealing with that. You can easily turn that down without having to go into your game settings on your actual game, which is nice. But overall, I think it's a very good offering from HyperX, and hopefully we may see some implementation for some software. I think a lot of people will find that useful just to add some more custom EQ. So thank you everyone for watching. If you've got any more questions, please leave them in the comments box below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you want to get one of these for yourself, I'll put a link in the description. If you haven't already, please subscribe and don't forget to ding that notification bell so you don't miss an upload. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to HyperX for sending this out for me to review, and I'll see you all in the next one.